I want to welcome everyone I'm so sorry, I almost said Crypto Kingdom. Yes, it still is, but also welcome to Bitcoin Spike, guys. This is Bitcoin Spike. This is London here live. We have a great new program to tell you about, guys. We have an opportunity for you to receive $5,500, guys. We haven't updated this yet. I have confirmed that, guys, the overall total, if you sign up with Gate on the link, guys, it's going to be in the description of this video. It's going to be $5,500. At first, I thought it was $1,000, but I'm so happy to bring that to you guys. $5,500. So that should definitely help with, I don't know, Christmas gifts, trading. I think trading would be very exciting. Now, in terms of, guys, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin Spike, we were all over it today. It was very exciting in terms of the back rooms. They were full of trading. And let's go ahead and talk about exactly what we were looking at there and exactly how we caught exactly what we caught. Now we've broken down, you guys know the story goes, we wound up, guys, essentially the resistance that we met was this 23.6 on the extensions. You guys understand that. Now we were paying close attention, very close attention today, guys. I want to show you the level of attention we were showing, guys. This was at, what was this at? 933. Very close attention throughout the entirety of the move today, and it was just literally, it was blow by blow, guys. We were going literally just moment by moment to the exact, literally, guys, probably the exact specific move when we broke down from the trend. You guys can see that definitely the trend has been broken, but the important thing is that for you guys that were in the back, etc., the VIPs, we were able to identify it, not just the entirety of the move and down here, guys. We were down to the guys. It was very, very specific right in this area. So we were able to catch that and notify individuals before it broke down. It was a big move, guys. Let's go ahead and update exactly the nature of the move. In terms of the percentage lost, it was, look at that, about 4%, a little over 4%. If we go to the candles, just to update you, let's go. And it looks like, I guess the good news is we have caught along a Fibonacci, guys. We've also caught along, I want to discuss with you guys what's going to be known as let's say, we don't want to get too technical. We have I'd say a cross resistance here, a cross line of resistance, guys, that it has caught upon, which is a nice confluence or nice overlapping, I'd say, with this Fibonacci. Now, the Fibonacci's, we traded this, just so you guys know, we traded this as this breakdown occurred. The VIP were in the back trading, believe it or not, the entirety of this. Now, I did back off in and around this time. This was really aggressive. I think I may have traded one or two in this area for, guys, positive trades, booking positive trades. If you guys like to trade, make sure that you guys definitely sign up. And let me go ahead and put in to the link equation. I think definitely in the let me go ahead and put this this $5,500 in free USDT. Let's go ahead and put that into the description so you guys can deal with that. And let's see what we have. Now, in terms of, let's see, let me go ahead and pin that message so you guys have that. And yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll go through the fundamentals today, guys. We'll go through some the fundamentals of technical analysis. Why are we where we are? Have we, I'd say, capitulated? Have we surrendered to any upside activity? I would say, this is going to be a crucial video in terms of just understanding where the price action is. What are the odds we're going to retrace, right? What are the odds that we can move to the upside again from one of these Fibonacci levels? We're currently at the 23.6. Now we are at a 23.6 on the entirety of the price action, guys. This price action has been phenomenal. We were able to catch it, guys. I'm gonna just tell you, like, before 29,999. I went back and looked today in terms of exactly when we caught this and brought it to the VIP. It was under 29,999, guys. It just 29,750 is where we caught it. So the move up represented about a 45% gain overall. We were able to capture the majority of that, guys. Our VIPs. I'm very excited for you. You guys know we've changed our Twitter. We've changed our Twitter to Bitcoin Spike. So go to Bitcoin Spike. That's where the new rooms are, and that's where I'm delivering information, like the information today on the breakdown as it was happening. Very exciting to be able to do that. And guys, we were just slamming trades all day long. We were having so much fun. I don't know, maybe just dozens of trades were just realized. I know that. I think some people were trading options, which was exciting. Okay, so I'm not a big guy. I don't want to push options, guys. I want you guys to focus on the fundamentals, technical analysis. But it is your deal, especially if you get that $5,500. You guys just scan that top left, or just take that what is that link there in the description. You can take that and run with it, guys. That's $5,500 for you guys to trade, for you guys to have fun. And if you haven't received it yet, guys, I recommend you reach out to customer service there at Gate. They do have, just so you know, it's a great exchange, guys. Incredible TA, guys. Incredible TA. And their customer service is local here in the U.S., which is awesome, huh? It's local in the U.S. So you guys, I'm not really plugging that as much as wanting you guys to take advantage of it. It's going to be fun for you guys to trade that extra $5,500. It's going to be fun. So let's look at the kind of the anatomy of this upswing here, guys. Let's look at this now. As we lay it out, it looks a little bit more reasonable, right? It was a Bitcoin spike. There's a reason we named ourselves Bitcoin Spike, because it was huge. As we look at it on the daily, let's just review how aggressive it was to the upside. It was the strongest single move that we have had all year long. Now I say the strongest because it was just uninterrupted. If you look at just how beautiful, look at the price action, just straight line, guys, straight line approach. We didn't have a single move like that. Just so we all review, we didn't have a single move like that the entirety of the year. It was all very choppy, etc. From the time of like December to January, the beginning of the year, it was very choppy. Then we hit this spike, and guys, it was just on. It was beautiful. There was just it was very, very phenomenal. That's on the daily chart as we get a good look at the perspective in terms of how significant this was. Now, backing off of this, we're able to kind of get a little bit better of an idea in terms of the formation. Okay, we had this trend which was established, and I will say there's been a little bit of a variation. We even divided the trend into an upper and lower level, guys. So that upper level, I think I mentioned yesterday, in terms of that upper level, the upper level might be a place where a lot of people decide, essentially, I'm gonna go ahead and take these arrows off. A lot of people decide to take at that point. And I really did feel like I really felt like the bulls would be in charge today. I want to say that. I felt like we were going to power through any resistance we had. We did create some upward momentum. I thought that was very positive. But as we were trading, it just became obvious. We were starting to trade. I was like, where are the bulls at? Like, where's the buying pressure? Where are we? It just, a few of the trades didn't want to really, maximize. People were taking their profits early today. So you guys know that the profits were being taken early today. We noticed that kind of early in the day. We were able to shift. I know a lot of people in the VIP that got in and around this 30,000 mark, okay, and we called it just under $30,000 in terms of that bottom line formation. Let's review real quickly exactly what that set off the entirety of this, just to review, just so we understand and we can, formulate kind of a hypothesis of what brought us up. And I want to also talk about what brought us down. Very interesting in terms of what brought us down. I think you guys will learn a lot once we talk about that just in a few seconds. And it is, I'm going to say it's relevant to this right here, okay? This right here, very interesting. I want to talk about this. This right here, guys, was the beginning of, I'm going to say the beginning of an ascending triangle, okay? Now, I brought this specific ascending triangle, believe it or not, that's under the 30,000. That's before it launched. I brought it in the back rooms to the VIP, okay? That's the perk, guys, in terms of like the exclusive information, the backdoor access. You guys, it's at Bitcoin Spike on Twitter. Make sure you follow us. That's our new Twitter. The other one I dialed in from the wrong phone number, IP address, etc. And so I don't know. That's that. I think it's not really suspended, but I think they're doing a security check, making sure that I still have full control of the account, which I do appreciate. That may be doing more work than I know. In terms of this ascending triangle, I brought it formed as such, literally a picture, perfect representation, formed as such to the VIP. That small move, and I want to bring that up, that very small move, guys, did, okay, generate the entirety of this. Now, it's very important to realize, guys, what brought us down, okay? What brought us down? A lot of people may want a quick fix today. That's not what we're really looking for today. We want to delve into the technicals, and for those who have the ability to run with that, we want to run with them, guys. Now, in terms of bringing us down through, I'm going to say through this trend line, what happened is, I'm just going to say we formed kind of a head and shoulders, guys, and that was exhibited on the smaller time frames, but it was clear enough that we went ahead and called the head and shoulders here. We were very prepared for the move to the downside. So that was, in terms of that fallout, it's nothing. And people asked me, I said, I'm going to go full on fibs. They said, well, what does that mean? Well, that means that my position is out. My entire position on Bitcoin Bitcoin is out. It is replaced on the Fibonacci's, okay? So a lot of people made great trades through the entirety of this. I am long Bitcoin in terms of thinking and believing that Bitcoin is going to be fantastic. I don't want to fight it on the technicals. I never do. I never want to enter into a trade, at any trade that's going to be negative. I don't want to expose myself to risk. I don't want to lose 2%, 5%, 10%, or 20% if I can prevent it, right? So we're all about booking those positive trades and engaging in, kind of as aggressive, as aggressively as we can in the market. Crypto, there are so many gains to be had, especially with, right now as I look at, well, the trend has been broken. If we were to really look at, what is the downside of pulling out completely? And I'll just say that because I've been saying it's a good time to buy Bitcoin. Absolutely, it is. I will say, given this nature of volatility, we run a huge risk if we get out of Bitcoin. I think that's pretty obvious right now. It has been volatile enough and surprising enough that unless you stay on top of it literally 24/7, guys, you run the risk of missing out on something. I mean, we are down to the kind of the magnifying glass I normally say in terms of this. We're down to, this micro scale in terms of always wanting to define exactly kind of what pattern we're in, making sure it still looks like, okay, that still looks like potentially a bear flag. Pardon me. We've been dealing with the, look at there's Angel in the house. How nice to see Angel. That is so nice to see you, Angel. Very, very nice to see you. And Angel is our top supporter. We are so excited to have him here. So that's just really exciting. Angel, very, very nice to have you. It is awesome that Angel decided to show up, and I just love that, Angel. Every time you're here, we really appreciate your support. I'm gonna go through some really important technicals for you and the remainder of the VIP. Definitely, we missed you in the back. I understand you were on a kind of a family siesta, kind of a nice place today for you and the family to go. Congratulations on the family time. I'm always talking about those, the positive trades, certainly, but definitely also investing in those relationships. And Angel is the top supporter here, the benefactor here, and you guys know that it's just it's all about those relationships, and the tighter we are as a community, as a trade group, etc. It's just rocking it out. Just love that. Just hitting the button, and that's what we love. Is Angel knows how to hit that button. And again, he knows how to hit the button, ladies and gentlemen. We all know that, and we appreciate it very much. And he sometimes he just keeps hitting, and we welcome him to do that. That's just a sign of the fact that he's doing well. I know he's doing well. I talked to him today, and on information, I'll say alone, I think that Angel has done extremely well on Rune. I think Angel did really well on Rune, from my understanding, just based on information alone. And I don't know Angel, where'd you find out about that one? I don't know what happened or how that one came about, but that was something that made a lot of cash, whole lot of money. So that was a good deal, and we like when you're shouting out, Angel, because that lets us all know that you're doing well and that you did do well on Rune, etc. And that just feeds the community. It's a very important aspect of our group, and so we really appreciate that. Also, Angel, we did add on the top this 5,500 in terms of USD test. That's around it. I know you have an account there where you're trading as well, and I'm not sure, you may not have taken advantage of that, but what a recoup offer. Like, that's just awesome in terms of trading, and you get money to trade with. Like, what a great, I call it flash cash, right? Why is it flash cash when you're day trading with it? Well, you may have holdings, some heavier holdings, but maybe you want to engage in some flash trades, right? So that's exciting. That's kind of like flash cash. Gets you 5,500 in flash cash and enjoy trading. Okay, so as we look at this, let's review a little bit. And Angel has kind of been out of the loop. He's been out of town for a bit. Some of you guys may have had a busy weekend. I'm not sure. But, the big news story here is we have broken down. Now, I'm going to say that the general trend, if we wanted to do something like this, we definitely could. We could draw another kind of support line here, and we could essentially state, well, we could try and reinforce the levels that are already existing now. right? We could try and do that if we were looking at a way to stay involved in the market. Now, in terms of this breakdown, just be very aware of the fact that we were extremely involved at the top. And I did mention yesterday. I wanted to let you guys know. I did again mention yesterday. It looks like we've done this before. We had been able to beat this, and by what I'm referring to now would be this M top formation. Anytime you see an M top formation, that's an indication that you could have potentially reached the top. We were angulated a little bit. That was providing us some hope there. And I'd say we're still in the realm here of something which could be considered. What would you say, guys? If it were not for the specific trend lines that we rely upon so heavily to trade. Okay, if it were not for those specific trend lines, and if it were not for, just listen, hear me out here, guys. And if it were not for our understanding of the Fibonacci's, and this is one thing I wanted to run through with Angel. I understand you were busy today, so I want to make sure you understand the Fibonacci targets tonight with the rest of the VIP. Let's make sure that you are squared into the targets along with the other VIP day traders. And guys, I think I put on here just what was I going to put on? I was going to put world class, guys, something like that, because you guys we have VIPs from all over the world, and we so appreciate you guys tuning in and being a part of this stream. It just means a lot for you guys to be involved. And Daryl, nice to see you. Lars, it's nice to see you. I just saw you in the chat. And Angel, it just means a lot that you're lighting up the storyboard here. We really love it. We appreciate it. That gives us a lot of energy and makes us want to hit the button, right? So in terms of that, guys, what are you going to hit the button on in terms of your, and it sounded premature yesterday. People didn't want to hear it, right? They didn't want to hear pricing targets, right? Well, the pricing targets came, at, I'm just going to say at the right time for us. We were involved in multiple trades. Believe it or not, we booked multiple trades during this portion. That is the level of skill that the VIPs have got. If you guys are day trading, etc., if you're finding a new home, if you've been frustrated with the group you're at, whatever you're doing, or you're looking for a group, we just have so much fun, guys. So it's at Bitcoin Spike Twitter, and you need to join here on YouTube so you can join the VIP crew. The thing is, is the spike over? Let's talk about that. I'll say, I was saying if it were not for the trend line that we so respect in terms of our trading, the entries and the exits all the time, guys, we are going to define the price action by those trend lines. 100% we're going to define that price action, right? So we did see it, continuing. It did for a while. We made some good progress. It was an exciting morning. With that said, the breakdown along this breakdown formation, along with the clear hit along the Fibonacci, is only an indication, guys, of what? Of the fact that we may have expressed the full entirety of the spike. Now, I'm just going to say that we may have. Now, you will all understand that Bitcoin is full of surprises. What we look for, though, and I want to show you guys on the macro. I don't think you will forget this. If you will give yourself 2 minutes, it may be boring. Guys, I understand. I don't love looking at numbers, but watch this real carefully. Just watch this real carefully, okay? As we do this, okay, as we pull down, essentially, I'm just going to pull this down to about let's say to about 4,000. We can pull it down if we want to all the way. Let's do a Fibonacci real quickly. I want to show you guys whether or not it's an indication generally. Let's do price at 0.02. We also want to do the next price to 64. Let's do 64.86310. Okay, watch this. Now, in terms of the overall pricing, I want you to look at what the macro went through. This is the macro, the entirety of the price movement of Bitcoin. Now, I just drew a Fibonacci retracement, okay, on the entirety of it from 0 to 64.86310, okay? Now, look with me, if you will, at the top level retracement. You will note, and we'll have to go to the candlesticks to do it. The candlestick hit at 64.86310. What was accomplished? Literally perfectly, guys, right here at, and I remember being live during this and telling people, during this time, we have reached the top. That was part of we have reached the top because we have fulfilled this top level. We have retraced 23.6%. When this is fulfilled generally, I'm going to say generally, now it can be beat. It can be beat. But generally, that's an indication that you've reached kind of the maximum potential, at least for now. And now there are certainly ways to beat it, guys. There are formations that can beat it, but it is a key indicator. So for those of you who just watched that, pay attention now to where we are. We just reached the maximum on the macro, right? Yes. So as we look on the hourly, whereas we were playing some more aggressive Fibonacci, some more aggressive pricing targets, essentially they were going to be based at a kind of a higher level. Unfortunately, it looks like, and let me go ahead and just grab onto this. We were playing some that were at the previous breakout level. We have drawn them down now, and we have a confluent hit right at the bottom. Again, guys, just go ahead and square that up with the lesson we just learned at the top. We've completed that 23.6. You guys see that? The entirety of that first level channel, that first level of retracement has been met. So just like on the macro, where we just saw it, and we did see a retracement on the macro. Now, I'll tell you, this can be beat. We can beat this. It happens. It has happened before. We've been a part of it. It can happen again. But we're going to need to watch the patterns on a real micro level, not the hourly, not just anything. We're going to have to set our alerts and see whether or not we can beat it, and by what measure. What people will start to do now, which is what generally brings the pricing down, but guys, in a good way. Do you want cheaper Bitcoin? Like, yeah, I want cheaper Bitcoin. If we can lower our cost basis at any point in time, that'd be great. In terms of the targets that we're seeing right now, I just want to go through this real quickly. Let's go through this. Angel, I told you I would go through this for you. Let's go to, and all the VIPs, you guys know that. I think VIPs in the back have that. I think Angel's been on vacation. First of all, at 23.6, guys, that hit was the 39,451. Right? Absolutely. The 38.2 is 37,000. Okay, 37,550. Okay. 37,550. Then we have the 50%, which is 36,014. 36,014. The golden pocket is the 61.8 to the 65th percentile, right? Yes, correct. So that's going to be 34,478. Okay, to 34,000. Okay, just about thereabouts. You may play a little bit more aggressively to ensure that you get picked up, right? The 78.6. Okay, is going to be 32,291, correct. And let's see here, the 86, which is often forgotten, guys. It's often forgotten. If you just tuned in, hit the like button to let me know you just tuned in. You haven't been here. I'll cover the information from the beginning. The 86th percentile is the 31,327. Okay, thereabouts. Guys, you may adjust your Fibonacci's up at any point in time. You may decide, I want to lift them because I want to make sure I get picked up by the market maker, guys. In terms of, I just say, that's typically a strategy for people who want to make sure they get into a trade, right? So those would be your Fibonacci targets, okay? And we started off, I'm going to say there was a difference earlier than what there is now. I want you guys to understand the difference. It's really important, guys. As we look at the Fibonacci levels that we had previously, we were playing Fibonacci's around these levels here. Now, these levels played out. We traded these levels. As we look at the back here, guys, we were trading the entirety of this. As we look back at, the back rooms here, we were full of these charts, literally full of me showing like wave formation here. And the wave formation is just, demonstrating that to the group before, to the VIP in the back, and just chart after chart after chart. I just want to show you guys, exactly what we were going through in terms of before the breakdown. Here's a great picture of, if you see this, guys, this was live with the trend line. It's just like we're about at the breaking point, right? So that's what they get in the back. That's what the VIPs in the back get. And you'll see that was right before, bam, we broke down. So that's your stop loss level, etc. Right at that level, but to catch it there was just beautiful. I'm very excited for the VIPs that we were able to demonstrate that, and we were able to, communicate that to you just right on target. That is what we're all about. Then the Fibonacci's, guys, we had started off at a more aggressive Fibonacci level, and it's important that they've dropped. I want you guys to know that because this is a more aggressive stature in terms of the pricing targets. Understand that. In terms of these pricing targets, this is more aggressive because you are trading the Fibonacci's from the point of breakout, okay, from this point of breakout of the preceding pattern. All right, that is an instrumental like function of people who are trying to measure into or become aggressive towards a market. When it scales down like this, and I'm gonna just show you when previously, and I can go into the lower time frames. We traded at the levels that were even. I'm gonna tell you guys even up into this zone. Just so that you know how aggressively we traded. We traded even up into these zones. Okay, so yes, those were hits, guys. In terms of the entirety of, and you guys know the micro to the macro, etc. You guys know in terms of taking profits, etc. We discussed that at length. But working from, let's say, a real I would say micro and an aggressive style, where we are literally hammering into the entirety of this, right? Trying to keep it up in that channel. Fighting, guys. We were fighting. To bringing it down, let's say mid-level to all the way at the previous zone, or let's say the previous kind of macro level of breakout, that would be even more conservative. To drop it all the way down, just understand your pricing targets are dropping, your amount of capital involved is potentially dropping. Excuse me. Yes, to drop that all the way down here is going to do what, guys? It's going to demonstrate that people are backing off the market. Now, typically, that's where I would say, well, maybe we should be really cautious and ready to really pull the trigger on something, right? Because as you look at this, we are backed off on a schedule in terms of overall pricing targets now. And what is demonstrating, what that demonstrates to us, guys, is that people are ready potentially for the full capitulation of the price in one way or another, guys. And I'll say, or at one level or another. Let's say not the full capitulation, but at least a partial. Why? Because let's say it's already partially capitulated. Let's say that to the 23.6% of what? To the 23.6% of the move, the entirety of this move. We can measure that just so that we know, but that is what you're measuring with the Fibonacci's, is the percentage retracement of the move that is measured, guys. So that's it's a loss of 7.28%, which is significant. It's currently at let's look at the actual pricing, guys. 39,000. I wanted it to be over 40, but no, I haven't been paying attention for a second. Wanted it to be over 40. I'd seen a few green flashes. It's just not wanting to break that $40,000 mark. And after breaking down through that, having just locked into this 23.6% just tells me that I don't know, guys. I want to be ready to pull the trigger quickly. I don't want to get people too excited. There are different trading levels here that we can definitely look at and explore. We can try and, there's just all different types of ways to put this. A current position, yes. In terms of me or a lot of the VIPs, I think the typical, VIP approach that I know about is to always maintain cash reserves at lower levels or for lower levels. Correct? Excuse me. Easy for me to say, right? But at each level of the Fibonacci, to make sure, and this is a great example as to what we just saw, guys. In terms of this pour down, whatever people were playing with their targets, the pricing targets, they are capable, guys, in terms of the VIP, in terms of their cash allocation or structuring. They're able, due to their strategy, to never really get burned completely. And I think that's really important to address. They're never going to get completely burned because they're always going to save double and triple down available at each and every level. So they're just stacking themselves. However, deep they are in terms of their pockets, they're never, even if they have a smaller amount of money, they're never going to get overexposed at any higher level because they have the reserve cash available at a double or triple down level at each level of the Fibonacci. So that's really instrumental now. It came into force and effect, I'd say, in around this level as well. As you look at the top, this top portion that did pour down, it's critical that your strategy, your overall strategy, was just it was on point today, guys. So we have fulfilled out into the entirety of this structure here. I do want to talk about a few other things just to kind of recap where we are on the daily. And we've changed the look a little bit of the station. We appreciate you guys being here. That $5,500 USDT is, you can scan that link. Make sure you use that link, and we'll actually share commissions, but that will be for you guys trading on Gate. And that's a really strong technical exchange, you guys. There's new coins on it. There's all kinds of stuff. things you can normally only find on like a swap environment. You can actually day trade it. You'll have fun, set your limit orders, and just enjoy yourself, guys. It's going to be a big perk in terms of what all they can bring to the table. In terms of the, let's see, the daily chart, we want to go through, I guess some of the parameters. You guys know the all-time high, 64,863.10, $64,863.10. You know that essentially we have established with this spike, we have established, and I think this is very important, I want you guys to understand this, we have established, only by this spike, guys, we have established a descending wedge. The descending wedge is a continuation pattern. Understand that. That is a continuation pattern. Not sometimes, all the time, guys. I'm going to say, unless, I'd say the one caveat, and I brought this up yesterday, if we start to push further down into it, past that, about that 3/5 level. That is kind of the golden rule on a descending wedge. You don't really want to go past. You guys saw that today. Some of them just wanted to bleed down, right? It was uncomfortable. A few of them, like, we're not trading that one. That one is bleeding down into the edge past that 3/5 point. And it was just difficult. You guys know that. It was very difficult. Shout out to Julian. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. And Angel, we love the fun. We love the Bitcoin emojis. That's very cool. Angel's been around in Bitcoin since $7, a little over $7.50. That's impressive. I love that story. This is very nice. And he's the man around here. We appreciate him being here and inspiring all of us, me included. It makes a big difference when you're here. And in terms of the descending wedge, guys, we would expect it to be a continuation pattern. Okay, that means we would expect it to continue to the upside. Now, we did not have this continuation pattern until we just recently achieved the spike. We did not have that pattern at all. Okay, so it's been very important for us to go in and measure exactly what the parameters are of the, I'm going to say on the daily, what exactly are the parameters of the of the spike? Where exactly, what are the exact ramifications in terms of particularly we wanted to know, and I've done a little bit of work on this so you guys can enjoy this. Let me go ahead and do this. I should be able to extend right line. Let me do that. I want to make sure we're snapped on to grid here because I want this to be just hugely accurate for you guys, okay? I've snapped onto grid this top level, guys, this top trend line, which is a major trend. That stopped the entirety of you guys understand that stopped the entirety of the price action for Bitcoin. So we're definitely going to pay attention to that trend line, right? Absolutely. And I talked about yesterday that we were just, we were at a phase where, we were really looking good, guys. I have to say we were really looking good. I was looking forward to getting up and out and through that. Unfortunately, it did not happen, guys. And the good thing is we were there just live when it didn't happen. Like, absolutely, we were there. We were live when that didn't happen. So, not live here, but live in the back rooms in terms of VIP. And so that is what we try and do all the time, is bring that information directly to the members. And I mean, like, down to the second, guys, literally up in this zone, literally just, telling people we are right here, right now. There was a different zone ahead of that, a different zone ahead of that. Angel in the house. We love it, Angel. We really appreciate it. It's so exciting that you are just cranking through like that. And I think you're hopefully seeing the value of today's deal. And I think he's also shouting out that maybe he did well on Rune. I'm not sure how things went there. Let's see what we got. Looks like another one. Angel cranking out 500 large in Super Chats. Very, very impressive, Angel. We love that. We love the energy. We just need that. It keeps us going, and the energy you bring. He is Mr. Hit the Button. And Angel did really well on Matic as well. I think on Matic did extremely well. And we got to know each other a little bit while I was streaming live trading Matic. And boy, did we trade Matic. Good heavens. That was a lot of price action, a lot of fun. Anything with price action, guys, we love trading, especially if it has good utility. Polygon, Matic is a very interesting use case. We so appreciate you, Angel, being here, and we will continue to no, not at all. You're not interrupting at all. Just continue to blast if you must. If you must, continue to blast. Do as you will. It is your, you have the floor, as they would say. Anyone else who can't handle an interruption, I don't think they've never met either one of us, have they? Probably not. So looking at this in terms of In terms of that trend line, now we have, we have some different. Let me see here real quickly. How do I want to identify? I have a few different things to talk to you about. The primary one is the trend line along the top. I want to make sure that people understand that that is, I'd say, is a natural trading barrier. It's something we would definitely always recognize, right? Yes, we would never omit a trading barrier like that. We just wouldn't, okay? We also wouldn't necessarily omit, I'd say we could power through either one, but we also would not omit the I'd say, let's look at this chart. Let me show you another real good example. We let's see here on the BTC. Let's see on which chart exactly do we want to go through. This is probably the best one to go through in terms of the 23.6. We would not omit the level of the extension that was operating as a line of resistance. Now, striking that, guys, is just it's an indication that at that level, people took profits. It achieved what they wanted to achieve, right? So that is, as we struck that, some people may wait, okay, in between, I'm going to say in between the Fibonacci. This is a strategy you guys can consider. But as we look at this, at the entirety of this move here on the daily, we'd want to normally, I want you guys just to recognize, drawing your Fibonacci pricing targets on the hourly, okay, on a move of this magnitude is going to be probably the most accurate. I'd say based upon the number of trades that we've done, and we've done probably hundreds or maybe thousands. I'm not sure if we've done 1,000 or thousands online or live, but we have. Drawing these on the hourly is going to provide you with the most accurate targets. Now, as you're working your way up, understand that on each breakout, you're going to want to adjust per breakout as you move up. Okay, that's typically the standard that will generate I'd say the most precise, without a doubt, the most precise results. Okay, so upon each breakout, it's a new pricing target based upon let's say, for instance, here it would be based upon this specific level of the breakout right here for that next level up. That allows you to build. It allows people to trade and buyers to engage in building the price up. Now, it looks like that process is broken down to the point that we're right. What can we say, guys? In terms of, I don't want to say that we were right about this because I've kind of held back on that. I don't want to say that we were right on this, okay? Because that puts us in the form of being buyers at a lower level already. When it poured down to this level, and we were there, you guys know, and I'll just tell everyone who may not have been in the back, but yeah, that's essentially right at the bottom line price target, right? I don't want people to think that we're the ones drawing the price down. That's not my intention. That we're not stepping up and pushing the price up. That's not the intention, guys. We are so instead of that, guys, we are so focused on the price. This is an example in the back rooms. We were so focused. I don't know of a group that did more trades than we did. Okay, we were phenomenally involved throughout the entire day. So do not think that the VIP that we sat in the back and weren't willing to trade. Now we were trading the entirety of the day. We were hitting it as hard as we could, guys. We had a phenomenal day trading, very successful day trading, a lot of book trades. And breaking this trend line was not ideal. The ideal portion is that we did, I generated this literally while it was occurring in the back rooms. That is what needs to occur. You guys, if you are VIP and you haven't transitioned over to Bitcoin Spike, make sure you go to Twitter Bitcoin Spike. If you've just shown up in the stream, hit the like button so I'll know how many people are showing up, and I'll be able to cover price targets to include Fibonacci's, etc. As you guys look at becoming involved, or you may have questions about kind of a strategy going forward. We're not going to hype anything up. We are going to talk up the fact that this was the biggest run up for Bitcoin this year in terms of price action. Okay, just unfettered, uninterrupted price action. On the daily chart, we do not have another move of this magnitude. Literally an uninterrupted move. We do not have one like that the entirety of the year. As you look at this price action, compare the price action. Look at this in December and January. Do you see how difficult that was, how choppy it was? And it seemed like it wouldn't stop going. Do you guys remember in the beginning of the year, it was really phenomenal. We were all around. It was really building. It gives us such an appreciation for what has just happened. This, as you just look at it visually, the blue line, it has been phenomenal to see and to experience this level of price action. It is unprecedented. It is literally unprecedented in the history of Bitcoin. So as we look at it, and guys, I think, arguably I think for a major market mover, the percentage gain may have been there, okay? The percentage gain may have been there, but the actual amplitude, guys, I say the percentage gain because I think there were some quite a few instances where potentially, Bitcoin, et cetera, has gained, let's say, what is this, in 8 days, 40+%. It's had some great, just what I'm looking at, some great moments, I'll say that, building moments. But what I'm looking at is just the characteristic of the build. It is just phenomenal. And I'm not trying to hype up anything. I want to literally just register it with all of us as we appreciate price action. Look at what we had been through. You all understand how difficult this area was. It was just slow and painful, right? The preceding area there was just so frustrating. Now, we had gotten a previous move here around, about early to mid-June. We had a real nice move to the upside. I think that was around, 30% or so? 20, it was about 22, I think, on the candlesticks. Let's look, at the candlesticks. It was about, there we go, it was about 33%. Okay, so that was a nice move, a really, really nice move. And let's see, there we go. So the recent 40% move, yes, we have had those types of moves in Bitcoin. It's not a huge or a brand new phenomenon overall that Bitcoin's going to surge, that it's going to have another spike. The question is, when is going to be the next spike? That's what I want to focus on because, guys, that's when we make the money. We make the money on the spikes. You guys know that. That's when the value of our holdings increase. That's when if we trade on a spike, if we get in, right before, if we notice the pattern, that's when we make money. Those are the crucial times to be plugged in. That's what we're all about, guys. We're called Bitcoin Spike because we're going to catch it. I'm going to tell you that's the goal, is we're going to catch it. And you guys know that. We need you to stay plugged in, especially if you guys are already members. If you're not, you guys need to join because we have a fun group of day traders. If you're Basecamp, et cetera, we appreciate it. We have Basecamp level. This is the bottom level. But it's just people involved. But you guys understand, before the spike, what did we catch here? Before the entirety of the spike, we caught it right here. I am not kidding. You guys know that. So these spikes, guys, that's what gives you. Guys, that's what. And you guys know the conditions change. They change daily, do they not? We can get into an argument over someone's right or wrong about a prediction this year or next. But we're in a market that changes every day. It changes every hour. A lot of you don't even have time to really watch, the entirety of this stream or the next stream. You're trading. You're busy with jobs, etc. So when we identify this right here, and it leads to that kind of a blowout. I'm going to tell you this. People did not even have real time to get out of this trade. They got in, and it just blasted through the roof, guys. So that was a really, really nice move, and we were prepared the entire time. The whole year, guys, I'd say since the top, since 64, 86, 310, we have been preparing as a group to double and triple down at lower levels. So I know, personally, I do know for a fact that some members have been playing heavier, that they are prepared to play heavier even now. That's nice. That's nothing new. We've seen them play heavy already, and it's just at lower prices, guys. It's been indicated to use some of the your backup reserve cash. So the question for people now is, do they want to stay involved here? Do they? I'm going to say right now I'm kind of peppered in at this level. Okay. I'm peppered in at this level. It was a nice trajectory up, and I'm going to pay as much attention right now in terms of an additional 44%. That's beautiful. Over less than 12 days. That's amazing. 44%. Now I'm going to pay as close attention, guys, and I'm going to as I did to this bottom level when I brought that to the attention of our members, in the back. And you guys can have that access too. If you don't have that access already, you can have that access too. Just hit that join button, and if you, we would love to have new VIPs join us. That'd be great. In terms of the ones that we already have, I know we have enough, but we just I don't know. We love helping people. If we can help people trade better, and I think we have the best trade group out there, guys. You guys are really killing it. So what would we talk about? In terms of, not sure what you guys want to hear this level. We've gone over the Fibonacci pricing targets. We've gone over the fact that, right now, I'll be watching this for a breakout to the upside. Like, I feel like that's my job, right? If I have a group and we have a VIP day trading group, I kind of just feel like it's my duty. Like, I needed to catch the bottom here. And I'm not talking about, like, I've been talking for months. Maybe it's 28,000. Well, it could be, no, I caught it exactly. Literally delivering it to you guys, and I'm like, look at this. Everyone's talking about a bear flag, and then I'm like, well, look at this, ascending triangle. Be prepared. And we did discuss the bear flag too, but that at, under 30,000, that's what made this move. I mean, that generated the entirety of this. It's not uninteresting. I thought it was very interesting, and I did bring it to the attention of the VIP in the back. I told them, because it was amazing on the smaller time frames, when we broke through this, and it's just fitting, guys. Just listen for 1 second. Just listen. Okay, we started off with a very small baby, very small ascending triangle, right? That sent us all the way up here. Believe it or not, just a micro ascending triangle. What did we break through the trend line with? We broke through the trend line with a head and shoulders. Believe it or not, on the micro, a very small head and shoulders sent us down. So we started off with just the smallest of moves, guys, and I'm talking about just the smallest of moves. This is what you have to catch. This is what we need to be able to focus in on. This is how detailed the game is. An ascending triangle set off this move. Absolutely. We caught it. Okay. Now, in terms of breaking through the trend line, what did it? Well, it was nothing that we caught. We caught a head and shoulders, a bearish pattern. So that is the level, and you cannot even see the head and shoulders on the hourly. You have to dig into the lower time frames. But I did tell the guys in the back and the girls, I told them, I was like, and there was a good group of us, I'd like, do be aware of the fact we just broke through the trend line with a head and shoulders, right? And it's just, it just makes a difference, guys. It's an inherently, kind of bearish pattern. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting, to enter in, and we fought for this level, guys. I want you guys to know, I want everyone to know, we fought for this. I mean, we literally, you guys need to know, we hammered into it, guys. We really did. Multiple trades, things moving against us, just fighting, trying to get this up, trying to get this through, it kind of not wanting to reconfirm off, it going back to the upside, multiple trades here, just hammering. I mean, look at the Fibonacci's laid out. Huge work along the Fibonacci's. I mean, it was just pricing targets galore in terms of trying to establish this as something that could maintain along that line. We fought, guys. We really did. I want you guys to know that if you're, from the VIPs that may not have been back there to the base campers, you guys need to know we were back there hammering at this thing at each and every level. And it turned into a little bit of frustration at some point because it seemed like the EMAs were predominant. We couldn't get the exact formations. We couldn't get an ascending triangle here or there. We couldn't get a bull flag. And it's like the EMAs were pushing us around. And I'll just never forget that. We talked about it. I'm like, this feels like programmed trading right now with the automated percentage sales. Things were going, just so you know, in terms of the price action day, people were selling early or whatever the mechanism was. There wasn't a fulfillment of the expectations on the trades, okay? You had to book positive trades today, you had to understand people were getting out early. That was it. We were trading. While we were trading, it became clear early in the day things were not fulfilling. In terms of like the projected price targets we would typically have on almost every pattern that we traded, there was a take early. And we got used to that early on in the day, but if we hadn't adjusted to that, we could have gotten caught easily. But that was the nature of the market today. I do know people that were playing shorts. I personally know them, or that were going along on options. I don't think that was the key catalyst in terms of the price action today. I just don't. It was just more of a reserved approach, and I believe that was because we were up against some lines of resistance, okay, and not the trend line, guys. I believe it was because we were approaching what I know day traders were looking at, which is a line of resistance on the macro that really could not be ignored. And that line of resistance, in line with the 23.6% extension that we were below, it's like we were literally just cornered in. And if you guys look at that line of resistance, you can see, potentially without getting into the nuance, but you can see just how, it kind of, I don't want to say it forced capitulation, but it was very tough in this general area. And I can redraw these for an exact nature, but very tough in this general area to really, I'm going to say, and not to trade, because we still traded for profit. It was a very nice day in terms of booking positive trades, but that's what we were up against. And as much as we wanted to, blast on through, and on the perpetuals, on the perpetual chart, we did go up through exactly what I thought we would go up through. That was nice. I indicated that yesterday. I thought we would go up through. In terms of the guys, what do we say? We just fought for it. I want you guys to know that we really tried, and we also tried to bring you guys the best information. I feel bad for people who are busy during the daytime and they cannot trade. If they're, if you're tied up with work or you're tied up with other things, you want to trade. I was thinking today, how could we help facilitate that? I don't know, but I would really like to try and help come up with an idea or some solution, because I know people want to trade more, right? So I'd like to be able for us to come up with some idea. You guys are good traders, right? You're really smart. You have all types of solutions. Like, what can we do for people that want to trade more, but they have to work or they have, other obligations during the day? How can we facilitate them? I think as a group, we should try and come up with something kind of interesting on that front. I think that'd be great. I think that'd be a great, what a great service to the community if we could come up with that. Absolutely, huh? Let's see what, I appreciate that, Angel. He's saying, London, your knowledge of the market and how to adjust is absolutely 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. You are awesome. I so appreciate that confirmation. That's a big confirmation for me to receive from you, because I don't know anyone else I'd rather receive that from in terms of the market. You are the man. I really appreciate that, Angel. 10,500 now, 11,000. He's up to 11. How awesome, huh? How awesome. And it's funny, Angel, anytime that you and I just kind of, we talk back and forth or whatever it is, I think people get bored. They just leave. And I'm like, well, okay, that's fine. Maybe they'll come back, hopefully after they've won some money or they've gotten some more money or booked some trades. I don't know. As we look at the price action here, we thought about developing kind of a secondary zone down here. As you guys look at me just replicating that right there, that's a key feature of what was going on today, okay? I'm going to do that one more time so that you can see from the point of breakdown. If I go ahead and just replicate this, watch this move right here. Look at that move. Do you see that move? The mid-level move. That was the zone I pointed out yesterday that I'd really prefer to operate in, almost like unilaterally, almost solely to operate in this zone on the top side, right? Because I'd indicated we really have only gone down here one time, right? And it was a sign of, like, I'd say a really bullish sign that we were able to maintain that. Things became, I'd say, a little bit, a little bit different in terms of I'd say, kind of the nature of what was expressed. This is on the perpetual. I don't want to necessarily just talk about the perpetual. I know people trade that. Let's go into a different zone here, just the flat level zone here, where we can understand kind of how things began to change and how we felt that. In trading, we're always looking for the feel of the market. What's the stability of the market? What is, what's the condition of the market? Is it feeling stable? Is it aggressive against traders? Kind of how are things shaping up, right? So I'd want to draw something kind of like this, right? I'd want to draw something like this, and I'd say just generalized trends, and be able to point out whether or not we did start to kind of capitulate. Did the buyers just kind of give up? Because I did talk about the fact earlier on, just a touch here, that we just a touch ago, a minute ago, that it seemed like we had kind of leveled off in terms of buyers achieving their their goals, achieving their price targets. On the upside, I'm talking about the takes on the profit, right? Because we were involved in 3 or 4, and it just became obvious. Like, if we're going to book these trades, if we're going to book these trades, we got to take early. It became very obvious. Like, something's up. People do not want to push through the entirety of it. It was an odd pressure, guys, a very odd pressure. So as we put those experiences together in terms of our trading experience and our group experience, this one goes in the books. We were up against a line of resistance, right? We had just come off a huge bullish movement. and we experienced like a real hesitation in the market, like a real wanting to cut loose in terms of just frustrating the whole process of trading, right? Yeah. So as we look at this, we'll note that in the last few days we achieved this level of trajectory, right? Yeah, we achieved a real nice level of trajectory. Now, in terms of the entirety of, let's just look at what was achieved within the last 24 hours. Things kind of tapered off. We weren't able to continue that, and a lot of the, I'd say just a lot of the, and this is a real big warning sign to me when I look at trading, when I look at a top, etc., to prepare myself. The same thing happened at the very top of Bitcoin, and the party is not over. Just so people know, like the party's just getting started, guys. I hope you guys know that the party with Bitcoin, it's just getting started. I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to be trading this. We're going to be having a blast with it. We are going to be making money. We're going to be having fun with this and altcoins. The party is not over. If anyone's saying the party is over, they haven't met our group. I'll tell you that much, because we have more fun and we do more trading, and we just have that good of a group. There ain't no party over. That's not going to happen. So I don't want anyone to think that anything bearish is going on here. No, to the contrary, we're going to be slamming Bitcoin. And you guys, in terms of our trades, etc., they talk about diamond hands. We got some iron fists, so we're going to throw at this and have some fun and enjoy trading, guys. That's the whole idea. We're in the market. We're going to enjoy trading, and I just love the group we have. So in terms of, I'd say that expression along the top, in terms of how we felt this today, it was important that we almost leveled off, right? And in terms of that, I just, I don't want to make too much of it. I don't want it to be, the last thing I want to do or need to do at this point is be like, well, we told you so, or we didn't tell you so. That becomes irrelevant, really. That's not a personal point to prove when I just get to recap for our own members the fact that we were on it like this. Before it broke down, we were on it. I'd say completely on target in terms of the back rooms, etc. We were on it, discussing the breakdown as it did occur, so the members could make their moves. And I'm not the one to tell people when to sell, guys. I want you guys to know I never tell people when to sell. I just don't do it. I did today say, if it were me. I said, like, if it were me, and it is me, just telling them what I was doing. Like, upon the breakdown, yes, we've broken down. And I feel like, I'm going full on fibs. When I say full on fibs, meaning I'm pulling back the entirety of my structure to go on Fibonacci's. Okay, that means we've broken through something. There's an indication that, we're about to experience a big enough loss that it made sense for me to pull out, okay, to pull out and to re-engage. I never really pull out without re-engaging, so it's not like I'm ever absent in the market. That's the approach that I take. In terms of kind of where we are at, one of the big things, and Angel, I wanted to share this with you and the rest of the VIPs for sure. This is a big deal. If you guys can pay attention to this, I think this is one of the bigger things going on right now that we need to definitely cover. And there's a contraindication I want you guys to know. On the daily, we still have a chance on this. Please pay attention to this like you haven't paid attention for a minute, okay? Like to something else or anything else. On the daily, you guys know we're very good at these cross diagnostics. On the daily, it looks like we're almost, I'm going to say not completely, we still have a chance. I'm going to say you still have a chance. We are below, and if you guys will look at the materials I provided you, okay, we are below on the daily, though this could snap up. What we want to do is we want to respect this level, okay, that has been established by the preceding intermittent highs about around 40,000. We really want to stay above that, and I mean we'd really like to, guys. We really just do. That's a key level. You can see the hitch at this level, which we'll just say applies to that right now. We'll just say that applies to that. In terms of the entirety of the implications of this, getting below this is not something that the bulls want to see. Now, to the extent that we'll be able to trade at those lower levels, I mean, sure, that's going to be exciting. We look forward to the pricing targets and all the price action. Bitcoin really doesn't disappoint in terms of price action. If you're paying attention, it's going to, it'll probably make you pay attention a little bit longer, right? It's slow enough that we can enjoy trading it. It's not all the, let's say, the flash trades from the lower time levels, etc. But understand the distinction here, and this has moved down since I last looked at it. It was still above, just for the record, it was still above. So this is kind of a big moment for me to see this below on the daily. This was above previous there too. It was above last time I think I looked at it. So that's not something that I like to see. Now in terms of the, let's see here, on the that's on the 4 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour and take a look at this. The demonstrated example that I brought to people's attention earlier today on a double bottom, and this is what I'm talking about now, the double bottom, okay? The double bottom indicated clearly indicated, almost perfectly indicated, guys, and it's the best double bottom on the hourly that we have had. The entirety of the retracement is the best double bottom that we have had. Just very well structured in terms of, guys, almost on the dot, guys. Just almost perfect in terms of that, the establishment. We want this to be as, achieve as much parity in terms of pricing action, right around that 29,311. It's just so close, guys, that it's really, really a strong indicator. So I don't want to lose that. When I see like the recovery is going to look like, if it can be achieved, and it's definitely still plausible, highly plausible in terms of achieving that reversal, okay? Because you don't stack, it's difficult, guys, to stack like on the hourly, just like, bam, bam. It's just, it's difficult, guys. It's not a common thing. Those are two strong hits in terms of Bitcoin. Now, it's also a strong indicator that we have to kind of contravene that, is that on the hourly, when we draw the entirety of this move on the Fibonacci's, that we have completed the entire this first measured move down, or let's just say step down, the 23.6%, essentially with a pricing target of 39,000. That is a big deal right there, that we have completed the entirety of the 23.6% of that percentage of the entirety of the move up, of the spike. So what we have is we have a drop below. Not only did the trend line affect us, let's say this, in the breach of the positive price action, but it also, in its capitulation therefrom, okay, and essentially in its kind of surrender therefrom, or its fall down there, therefrom. I keep saying therefrom. It's okay. Not trying to be eloquent, but in its failure. Can I say it? There we go. In its failure. Yes, in its failure. What do we have? We have the fact that essentially not only have we, I'd say achieved, but we've gotten the first level of the Fibonacci. Easier. I don't know why I can't talk right now. It's okay. And in terms of the danger that it presents, let me get to this. The danger that it presents is that we have broken the top level threshold, right? I may just be tired. If I'm tired right now, I mean, we've only been trading for like 10, 12 hours. I don't know why I'd be tired. Everybody's like, maybe you're tired. I probably am very tired. So as we look at this, just to rewind, the key focal point here is that we have broken down through this line, which needs to be supported, guys. It needed to be supported. We wanted to kick up. Not only do we lose the positive price, right? Yes, we lost this trend, okay, the positive trend, but we've also capitulated below what we needed to maintain to move up, in my opinion, based on the studies. Now, we can beat it. We have been beating things all day long and all week long that we're not necessarily supposed to beat. So we can get surprised. We still have not reacted, okay? We have not reacted off this 23.6. We have not really reacted. The trade has not engaged. If you wanted to get into a trade, okay, it has been sitting at its 23.6% Fibonacci for hours. That's one of the benefits of Bitcoin, is that it will pause. It will give it, some time in terms of the consolidation. We may be here for a while. We may not be here for that long. I would pay attention like we may not be here for that long with your stop loss orders below, with your potential, in terms of a cut loose, okay, with the orders below already set up. We've gone through those dynamics, etc. So I would be prepared as if this is going to, potentially move at any point in time. That's how I set up my technology, guys. And I know you guys are on the, you're there ready to hit the button whenever you need. I know that. And so let's just draw this so you guys get an appreciation of this. That double bottom is huge. That's a very key focal point of the recovery. Were it to establish itself as kind of the pivot of the of the reversal trend, guys. We need that. We need to achieve that reversal. And on the upside, we have just a phenomenal pricing target. If indeed we can get above or stay, I'm going to say now get above and then stay above this line. So falling through the trend line was important because we lost some price, of course, and there's some implications to that, but also we fell below this intermittent high that we wanted to stay on top of to achieve a positive price. You guys get that? We wanted to stay above this right here, this line of 40,700. We wanted to maintain above that, so it's implicated, guys, in terms of this double bottom. There's an exact chart that you guys have that I've already given to you. I think you guys already have that. So yeah, we would love to stack this move here up just to the next level. We would love to just build this price on up. Like, that's no problem. Let's go ahead and just, let's go ahead and build the price up. What we need to do, we would have needed essentially to establish, I'm going to say not reestablish, but to establish the previous resistance here as support. Okay, that's where the failure comes in through breaking the trend line. This previous resistance we couldn't get up above. What we just saw was a failure to maintain that as support. That would have been really crucial. That would have been really nice. Now, I'll tell you what, guys, we were plugged in enough. We're fine. Everyone's fine in the group. It's like I don't think anyone's sweating, etc. We were live in the back. We don't have everyone over from the crypto kingdom yet. We have to get more people over from the kingdom. I think a lot of people work during the daytime and or they're out for vacation. Some people are out for vacation, so it may take a while for us to get everyone back over. And in the meantime, I think Twitter is going to reset back up my account. I just dialed in from some number it didn't recognize, etc. So it's happened before, believe it or not. That's why I'm not that worried about it. We'll see how long it takes to work out. Looking at this, we can see, I'd say a pattern buildup, maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which could necessitate an A, B, C. Okay, that would be ideal. I did bring this up. Do you guys recall this? This is interesting that we would get into this mode because I did bring this up a few days ago, and it would be interesting still to see. I hope you guys agree. If we could establish something that looked kind of like this. Right? Because the bull flags, let's remember this. The bull flags in the past, in and around January and so, let's take a look at the bull flags. Let's look at something really positive here. Let's look at the nature of this bull flag here that we experienced in January, if you guys will remember that. Yeah, it's kind of chaotic. It's kind of all over the place, right? But its measurement is perfect. It flew at half mast. That means you just you replicate the preceding move up. You replicate that in the pricing target on the way up. So as we look at that, let's just take another look over to the right. Okay, really stable. Like let's eliminate the trend line real quickly so you guys can look at that. Like we've barely moved at all. We moved up, and look at the volatility on the left, guys. Look at all this price volatility in December and January and February and March. Look at all that. I mean that was wild, guys. That was a lot of price action, right? A lot of volatility. So right now, I mean, we haven't moved. We haven't even scratched the surface, right? We're doing just fine. Yeah, I think compared to what we've been through, I think this is just fine. So I would like to see some sort of a bullish formation take place. I'd love to see something we can get excited about in terms of a pattern that we can trade, or that makes it to the point where we're comfortable in kind of the skin that we find ourselves in terms of the pattern formation, etc. Right now it looks like we just kind of I'm not gonna say what it looks like we have begun to form. I know that we've hit the 23.6 again, which is a pricing target, and the fact that we're sitting at a pricing target, it just doesn't surprise me. It's Bitcoin. It's going to do what it wants. It's going to just move slowly. It's going to do what it wants to do, and we're just going to have to. We're going to be allowed, essentially, to participate in it. And I'm really glad that we're able to participate in it as a group. I did mention that it seems like I'm tired. We were trading all day long. You guys know that we were just trading all day long. And probably I may have traded for 10 or 12 hours a day. I don't know. So it was a lot of fun. We really bruised it up out there. And I just want you guys to know we really appreciate you. Thank you for listening to me when I'm tired. I'm sorry I'm tired. Let me think if there's anything else here. I can't get tired. Crypto doesn't sleep. No, crypto doesn't sleep. I forgot about that. Crypto doesn't close. No, I forgot that. No, we can't get tired at all, right? Market never closes. Okay. Now I remember the market that I chose to be in and why I chose to be in it. It's a great challenge. So as we look at this, anything else we need to bring to your attention before we call it a night? We've gone through the Fibonacci's, which have been expanded on the entirety of the time frame. They're no longer indicated at the upper levels, okay, which would indicate a real kind of, go get them kind of, I'd say, real bullish indicator, guys, if we're just stepping and marching up with it. We did trade these like that, guys. We traded the Fibonacci's from this point of breakout, I think, at almost every level, guys, every level that was tolerable. We were very aggressive today, had a great time doing that. We've discussed the fact that we have capitulated beyond not just the trend line, which, I'm going to tell you, when you get a real trend line going, guys, the steeper that it is, we have to give this some credit. The steeper that it is, guys, at some point it becomes reasonable to anticipate that it's going to break to some degree the trend line. Okay, that's just reasonable to anticipate that. So we have capitulated that, which also in its capitulation, it has driven us below this preceding resistance that we wanted to turn into support, kind of a horizontal level of support. It's a cross-indicated line, which we wanted to really respect. And, guys, it would have just been lights out potentially from there. I'm just going to say it still could be. We're going to remain very watchful for that. So we've also discussed, in addition to the Fibonacci's, we've discussed the double bottom formation and the capitulation here, how that's relevant. In terms of people's exposure, we've talked about that. My own exposure is kind of peppered in lightly at the top. I always want that backup reserve cash. Now, pepper may be heavy, guys, maybe a heavier amount than I know that you have, or that you know that I have. That's fine, but always willing. Heavy cash reserves to hammer in at lower levels, guys. At double and triple down. I'm prepared to double and triple down at lower levels, not just within this zone, guys, but with the lower levels. I've got heavy reserve cash. I'm willing to go and ready to go heavier at lower levels. I also know other people in the market who are some big players who are ready to go. I'd say heavier, kind of heavyweight at the lower levels. So. We've also gone through, and the last thing I will redo here before I do let myself rest just a minute, because I am tired. As we look at this, we have this line. This is on the what is this on? Just I'm not going to get to the nuanced levels of exactly where we're at. We have not broken out of this angulated, and this is on the 4 hours. Probably the best look that we have on the 4 hours. Very clean, because we're right on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we are right up against that line. That is a big line. I can't believe I just pulled up the 4 hour. We need to pause for a second and make sure that is accurate on the 4 hour, guys. That's a big deal. I have not checked the 4 hour. 4 hour always surprises me. Not that many people use it. Just look at the 4 hour. Is that going to be that close? Believe it or not, guys. Has anybody looked at the 4 hour? Hold on. I know people are probably streaming out. They're bored now. Like, you haven't even looked at the 4 hour. I haven't looked at it in a while. No, I haven't. Not on this. I did diagnostics all morning. All morning I didn't look at the 4 hour. Hold on. Let me look at this. Let me see. Is that really that tight? Yeah, it's a little off still. I'm going to do this the way it needs to be done. Hold on. Hold on one second, guys. I don't want you to be bored, but I'm going to get this right. I do not believe that this is that this could literally be this close on the 4 hour, because if it does, or if it is, then that has some implications in terms of positioning, etc. I'm going to go ahead and draw this out and really get really fine tooth here. Let me look at this. Let me look and go ahead and draw this out to the right. Extend right line. Let me see this. I just can't believe. Nah, it's still a little bit away. It's close. Okay, snapping it to grid. It's relatively close. Still, it's not right on the line. I'm like, I could not have missed that. A little further away on the hourly. Okay, I'm looking for any time frame where we're that close on the 4 hourly. It looks like we're closer. I'm going to say we're almost within striking distance on the 4 hour. That's important, guys. If this line is broken, if this trend line is broken, guys, you may have an absolute just blast. Okay, in terms of there's just no other resistance line other than the extensions that you're likely to run into. Okay, now that's with the caveat that you've capitulated in terms of already below that line that we wanted, that previous resistance we wanted to turn into support. Okay, so but yeah, that would be a real huge indicator. I'm sure that you guys have your alerts set up along that line. It's a key feature in terms of what has been holding us back. It's been holding. I don't want to say it's been holding back the traders that I know in VIP, etc. But it has consumed our time to a degree. So even to that effect, yeah, maybe it has had an impact. We were working on it all morning. We were working on it last night. We're trying to continually make sure that our lines are correct. Like just now, I'm looking at the 4 hour, wondering like, is anything going to surprise me on it? It's just a distraction when we should be planning, our next bullish move, our next holding, our next, slam dunk in terms of like, what's the, instead of, the next bull flag, it's like, well, now we're looking at this cross line of resistance. It's like, we don't want to be doing that. I think that's had somewhat of an impact today. People may wonder, well, can the trend line just push? That's a reasonable question. Can the trend line just push? Why can't the trend line just push? Well, the answer to that question is that once it's established, it has implications. If you would like the trend line to push, what I would recommend is that you play it the same way you may have played the previous trend line. Okay, but if you continue to push, it defeats the whole idea and notion of a trend line. So essentially, once a trend line, and it's established by multiple contacts along the same line, it's very clearly indicated. I mean, if you insist on pushing it and say, well, we're going to give it some additional leeway, there's no problem with that. You can certainly, do what you choose to do. I'm never going to tell anyone exactly how to trade, although we have some really skilled traders, and if you guys can learn from them, I'm finding out new things all the time in terms of what they're bringing to the table. It's really interesting stuff. A lot of good techniques that they're using. So I appreciate you guys sharing all that with me. It's a lot of fun. And in terms of, if you wanted to push the trend, I don't think it's indicated, but go for it. Whatever your style is, go for it, right? I don't think it's technically sound, but, whatever works for you. We get into some different techniques that, you guys, in terms of like, in terms of options, I know someone in the back today was trading options. There are different techniques and options that you can get into, and unfortunately, you can probably never get out of them either. But there's some very complicated option strategies. So there's probably some complicated strategies in terms of your trend identification. I'll just give it to you. If you have a different technique than what we have, go for it. Have fun. If it's working for you, we salute you. We want you guys to do well. Bottom line, we want you to do well. You guys just you can scan the deal on the top left. That's for 5,500 in USDT. You can sign up. Sign up on Gate as an exchange. It's a lot of fun, and we're having a blast. And that'll allow you to trade either with us already. And if you guys are already VIP, make sure you contact customer service about that. Shoot them a chat and say, hey, what do I do about this? And I think you guys will be put on the right path for that. And we just definitely want to make sure that you're signed up with the right link. So not only can you get that, but you'll share commissions with me. I'll share my commission with you. And also, what else? Oh, the data. We need the data. The commission is whatever the commission is, but we need the data. We are looking towards programming. I did have a discussion with the programmer. I forgot to tell you guys. I had a discussion with the programmer, and we put a time frame together for putting together the algorithmic programming, guys, that we're going to be taking advantage of. This guy I'm dealing with, he has his doctorate. Okay, he has his doctorate. He's a very professional, he's a very well respected individual in the community and in his field. He has a doctorate in programming, so we're going to be looking forward to doing that, and we can do that better with the data. So we're looking forward to that. Let's play these fibs out. Let's, in terms of, I'm interested in your levels of exposure. Some of you guys do have those diamond hands that Elon talks about. That's nice. And for me, I'm peppered in. That's just my approach. But I want to catch this thing. I will probably set some trigger trades, excuse me. Like, I'd like to know, like, is it going to blast off? If at any point in time it blasts off, I can program that up to take advantage of it. And you guys, the more plugged in you are with me, the easier that makes my job in terms of keeping you guys plugged in terms of the price action. You guys make sure that you follow us over on Bitcoin Spike. Okay, that's going to be on what is that on Twitter, guys? On Twitter. So yeah, just make sure that you follow us there. And yeah, just if you're VIP, we need you there because we have the new rooms in the back, etc. And yeah, they're nice and clean and everything. I'm just joking, but they're good. They're great rooms. We appreciate all of y'all's involvement. So while I talk about being tired, why don't we do this? I'll go back into those rooms. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me. But yeah, I really gave it all I had today, and we'll just seal the deal with that because I think I don't know. I think I'm tuckered out. So you guys, it's been a great trading day. I'm glad we'll never forget this. Yeah. If I listen to this again, I'll be like, God, I was tired. It was one of those days. So we gave it all we had. I appreciate you guys being here. This is London with, right now, the Bitcoin Spike. And we're waiting for the next one. And I want to make sure that you guys are a part of it. If you're not fully a part of the group here, make sure that you join so that you don't miss the next spike. And I know one thing, we're going to be on it. So we appreciate all you guys. And if anyone needs to contact me, just go